All right, guys. So we're gonna be reacting to Germany versus US. Which country has the better quality of life? Controversial, huh? I'm doing some fasting. Remember, guys? I think it was like a year and a half ago. I was doing fasting. I'm doing my fasting again, just to clean up a little bit. My wife just gave birth to our new kids, and I'm just helping her out to have a great support. I'm a support for her. Well, hopefully we're gonna lose some weight, just clean up a little bit, and that way we can restart. We're gonna jump in, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and share as well, and that way you guys can help the channel. Let's jump in.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the quality of life in the United States and comparing it to Germany. I'm just going to be talking about some of my observations and personal experiences that I've had in each location. And so with that being said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comment section what your favorite pieces and parts of quality of life entail. And so first things first, I believe that the United States is a very visual country in comparison to Germany. This is why so many people talk about my white teeth in the comment section. And I don't understand why people get so triggered by my teeth. I get at least 10 comments, I would say a month, talking about how unnatural my teeth are and that they're fake and they're bleached and it's stereotypical American and blah, 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 blah. And the crazy thing is that I've never done anything, regarding bleaching or straightening of my teeth. It is just how
Natural.
they are.
Hey, shout out to her. It's very hard to keep your teeth that clean. Mine's are white. But I drink a lot of coffee. It's a little bit on the yellow side, but they're very nice. But she has very nice teeth.
But with that being said, I can recognize and I can acknowledge that here in the United States, we do put a lot of emphasis on our looks, teeth being one of them, hair, makeup, and everything else that you can throw into the mix. So I think that is one of the check marks to equating to a better quality of life here in the United States. And maybe that's why a lot of Germans point it out or notice it, because it's not one of the things that equates to a better quality of life in Germany. And I would say in a lot of other countries as well. In the United States, we love having things and we love having a lot of things, especially if the things look good, are good, it automatically equates to it is good for us, or at least our standards. And something that Germany taught me, very early on when I moved there, was that less is more. And more doesn't necessarily equate to more. That might be a little confusing, and it is because I just made it up in my head. But what I'm saying,
I see what she's saying. Like, less is more, meaning that you don't need a lot of things to make things happen.
That I got very accustomed very quickly to not having that much stuff that made me feel like a more whole of a person, or a more, how do you say, when you're satisfied person. I started finding I can't speak, y'all. I started finding myself becoming satisfied with things like, Kaffee and Kuchen, or being able to enjoy a nice home-cooked meal, or being able to go on a walk outside at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because my work said it was a beautiful day, go home and enjoy the nice weather. Being able to plan my vacations out and not having the looming fear that management is gonna say, no, you can't do that.
I mean, this is so crazy because it's so true. Wow. That was one of my concerns, man, in my last job. Multiple of my jobs. Like, management or HR or whatever telling you, no, you can't do that. No, you can't. Too many people already took PTO. Like, it was a constant kind of uncomfortableness. It was very uncomfortable, guys.
I've talked about this before on my channel, but what I personally believe is that a lot of people in the United States are brainwashed into thinking that the more they work, the more money that they earn, the more that they buy, the more that they consume, the more that they purchase will equate to a higher standard of living or a higher quality of life for them. And in my opinion, it's sort of to distract people from the shit workers' rights and
man, some dudes just decided to just mow the lawn.
restrictions and laws and everything else that they are lacking and do not have that would actually equate to a higher standard of living for them. You know, if you dangle a carrot and say, as long as you work and as
Sorry,
long as you're
guys.
able to buy things, then you are happy. A lot of people, they're going to take that, because if you have to sit back and really think about, you know, I'm getting screwed over by my job, I'm getting screwed over by the government, I'm getting screwed over by big corporations, and I really am exhausted at the end of it all as well.
She have a great point, man. A lot of us feel the same way.
And it wouldn't be a good feeling to go through life thinking that constantly. Another thing that I have realized is that a lot of times in the United States, if something is not tangible, for a lot of people here, it's not important, or they're not able to grasp the concept. Not to say that people in the United States are unintelligent, because that is not true. But if you have not been introduced to a system or a way of living your whole entire life, you know, generations to come and to pass, or that have passed, you're not going to be able to visualize, let me think of something, having cafe and kuchen at work or at home, or getting off
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to pick up your kid early.
Or having a nice morning with a coffee in a. I make pastry, man, but my pastry is gluten free and sugar free, so I use a lot of sugar free. The reason I just like to take care of myself. That's what it's all about. But man, one thing that me and my wife are starting to do is just enjoy ourselves with a nice coffee in the morning with a pastry. That's very German, man. I just learned that. I learned that from doing this stuff, and that's when I started realizing, like, man, this waking up at 5 in the morning kind of stuff, man, to go to work and man, this. Oh, it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
From daycare, from school, or being able to go home with your child and make them a home cooked meal every day, or being able to take 1 year off of maternity leave, or being able to take 2 weeks off of vacation that is mandated by law. People aren't able to conceptualize and
Yep.
visualize this
That's
because
not wrong.
it's so far grasped from their mind that
Oh, she forgot to mention, even if you save those vacation days, if you don't use them, you lose them. Huh? If you don't use those vacation days, quote unquote, you are gonna lose them next year, so you can accumulate them.
it cannot be a reality. Or for them, it's a lot
Crazy,
easier
man.
to say, hey, I just bought this new house, I just bought this new car, I just bought this new thing, and that's going to maybe put a band-aid on the bullet hole. The crazy thing is, though, a lot of the people I talk to in the United States that are born and raised Americans, they don't even see the United States as the greatest country in the world anymore.
They have a lot
I
of
feel like a
flaws.
lot of people here in this country are very complacent, and they feel battered down. They feel like they can't do anything else, go anywhere else, or achieve anything else because they're so trapped in the cycle of life that is the United States of America. Another interesting point that goes well with the quality of life conversation are immigrant discussions, and basically people that are deciding to move from one country to the next, what were their reasons for doing so. When you're looking at Germans, a lot of times they'll say, we wanted to come to the United States because we had dreams. We had an entrepreneurial spirit. We wanted to make more money. We were tired of taxation. We were tired of paying, you know, for the collective and whatever else it could be that they throw into the list. It's more of a very individualized me attitude and money attitude. When you're looking at Americans that go to Germany, or we could even do broader and say Europe, a lot of times they will say safety, kids, quality of life. They will just say quality of life in general. They will say vacation. They will say a slower pace of living. And like I stated, these are very different ideas. Hyper consumerism in the USA and a slowed down living pace in Germany. What I've realized is that the expectations in Germany versus the United States are a little bit more relaxed because people are treated like human beings in Germany.
Now the question is, why are they treating them like human beings? That's the question. They didn't simply just born like that, and it happens like that, right? I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that has come from culture, from hundreds of years. Of course, these things are you cannot legislate culture, guys. You can't unless you want to preserve certain things, right? You have to pass it through law, right? However, when it comes down to attitudes and cultures and traditions, it's people that do those things. It doesn't matter if you put like a free healthcare or high taxation or low taxation, no private, no healthcare or public healthcare, whatever. The culture still there, so it doesn't really matter. And this is the conversation that we have to have when it comes down to what kind of culture Americans need to aspire to be.
They're treated like people that have lives outside of their jobs. They're treated like people that have, everyday illnesses, that have sickness, that have families, that have things that need to be done, that have hobbies, and just life outside of a job. And in the United States, we're sort of treated like androids, in my opinion. Like,
Damn.
we're supposed to be at our work all the time making money because money is the most important thing. And in Germany, it's like, yeah, money's nice and you need money, but it's also nice to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and create this environment that is conducive to a better society as a whole. Being able to have affordable health care and to take care of your medical needs is a contributor to a better quality of life. This is not something that is accessible for every person in the United States. And for all the people that say, well, 80% of the population in the United States has health insurance, so it's the same as in Germany. No.
No, here's the problem. And I don't think a lot of people from Europe understand this. We have a lot of the amount of unhealthy people in the United States is, I don't think you understand the amount of people that are unhealthy here. If you pull like a public system, and we already have that, by the way, we already have a public system for healthcare. But these people that don't even take care of themselves will just flaw the entire system, man. We have people almost 1,000 pounds fat. 1,000 pounds. And that's had nothing to do with healthcare. That has to do with culture. Culture is just, it's out of control, man. They're not even taking care of themselves. They don't even go to the hospital. But as somebody that's 1,000 pounds is not taking care of themselves, you're gonna send this person to the hospital multiple times. But this person still don't want to take care of themselves. Here, that's the argument you have to make. We have she said, a consumeristic problem, but most important, it's a health problem. We approach life on the go. Like, we go to the gas station, give me that $2.50 burger that is right there, just warm. Just, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to, in order for us to even have like a public system when it comes down to healthcare, we have to fix that culture, man. We have to fix the culture. We have to just get those index of obesity down.
When people have to pay a
That's my opinion.
deductible or a max out of pocket of $5,000, $10,000 plus a year in order to have the insurance kick in, that is not quality of life. That is not a high standard of health insurance.
That's trash.
Talking about public safety and crime, talking about education, talking about the little things like me being able to know on Sunday at noon, I will not have a random person vacuuming their apartment above me, so I have peace. Those things.
Yeah, that's a good point. And again, that's come down to culture.
Like I stated, are not tangible, they're not really felt, they're not really seen, but they equate to a better, healthier, and more satisfied individual. And that is why a lot of Germans, as weird and as quirky as they may be, have such odd hobbies, or are okay with sitting in silence with themselves, or just okay with being themselves, because they have been promoted by society to do those things, to go out and get away from your job and experience
Yeah.
life a little bit, because you only have one life to live. And what do you look like working 70, 80 hours a week? I constantly say it's very important to see your country through a new set of eyes, to go out and
Yeah.
explore other locations in the world, because you come back more confident. You see what is possible and what can be done outside of your little bubble, and the changes that can be made that would make a huge impact on yourself and everyone else around you. And you also realize that everyone is very different for the most part, because what I perceive to be quality of life may not be the quality of life for you. But generally speaking, I do think that it's more important to have a well-rounded vacation package than it is to have the constant hustle mentality to buy 50 different bags of potato chips. I mean, some people may disagree with me. Some of y'all drink Vodmeister voluntarily or eat it in ice cream flavors, and I could never do that. But this is not a discussion about ice cream flavors, you guys. This is a discussion regarding quality of life.
She's right. She's right. I have to give to her. She's right. I think when it comes down to how I don't know, man. Like, it's the work culture is a little bit messed up here in the United States. They even give you insurance, but then they have these high deductibles on those insurances. Ridiculous, man. Hey, shout out to her, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. Make sure like and subscribe and share my content. I'll see you in the next one.